Let's talk a little bit about the jacket and Melania Trump. There's just a lot to say here. First of all, I believe it's a $30 jacket. I don't think it means anything. If it means anything, it is a message to the press. She only wore it going up and down the stairs in Washington. She didn't wear it in Texas. She wore it in Washington.
And those are both their explanations. A, it didn't mean anything. B, it meant something to the press. They've said
Correct.
both of those things, which
Correct.
it doesn't help the messaging.
And those are the only things that make sense. The only things that make sense.
So let me ask you this, because you're Mr. Fashionista over here.
No,
you're basically a Kardashian.
No, I'm not. But
like, the case they were making on the news about this is Melania Trump's a model. Fashion, very important to her. Mm-hmm. There's no way that this was just a jacket she put on. It had to be a message to someone. Had to be. It couldn't have been something that she just threw on. Is that possible?
I actually believe that it is not a jacket she just put on. But I believe it goes to nothing to do with the border. Mm-hmm. It has everything to do the last time she flew Air Force One or whatever they call it whenever the president's not on it. When she flew to Texas, it was for the hurricane. And what did the press do? They went after her for her shoes. They've gone after her on absolutely everything. They have treated her abysmally. Treated her it's awful what they have done to her. They would have never done this to any other first lady. She has stayed out of it. She hasn't talked politics. And when she has, she came out against her husband on this. Okay, she's been the invisible woman. They called her all kinds of names because she wouldn't come out. So she does come out and say, look, I'm an immigrant. We've got to change this policy. So she stands against her husband. And the last time she went down to Texas, they mocked her for her shoes. I happen to believe she's not a stupid woman. The people around her are not stupid. Nobody said, hey, Melania, don't wear that. That is possible. That she's like, let's just go and just grab this jacket. There's a green jacket upstairs. Just grab it. She wasn't thinking, just grab it because it's raining in Washington. I need just a jacket so I can go from car to the plane. Okay? That happens. She wasn't thinking about it. That is logical and reasonable. But it is also logical and reasonable that she got on that plane with her butt facing the press. And that message, I don't care. I don't care about what you say. I don't care. I think that's reasonable. What's not reasonable is a woman who comes out for the very first time as first lady and speaks about policy and takes on her husband and is an immigrant herself. What's not reasonable is that she wore that jacket to make a statement about how she doesn't care about the people on the border.
It's the one thing we basically know is true.
We know that. You'll never know the heart of somebody, so I'd have to say it's 99% sure. But there's just no way. She's not that person.
Right, because if
you have to be a despicable human being to do that.
Yeah, and if you're that despicable human being, you're certainly not making the trip to the border.
Correct.
There's no reason for she doesn't get involved in this stuff, so why would she stick her neck out?
Mm-hmm.
And if you are a person who can't stand immigrants, the last thing you do is wear a shirt that says you can't stand immigrants. Right? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. Her being an immigrant anyway, none of it makes sense.
Nope.
But yet the media is completely embracing it. Their idea is they think they've got them. And look at this huge faux pas. She wore a jacket that said she didn't care. And it just shows what the administration is. And she obviously just doesn't actually care about this. And it's like, come on. They're all pretending. They're all pretending to believe that's what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
And they know she didn't actually mean that. You can say it's bad for optics. You can say those sorts of criticisms are fine. But I mean, we all know she didn't mean she doesn't care about immigrants. We all know that. And they're all on television pretending that they think it was true.
Yes. Now, here's what you could say. And this would be a reasonable thing to say on the other side. This is the problem with the Trump administration. They go to do something and it can be a clear victory. And it is always followed with a bullet in their foot.